The widow of status quo legend Rick Parfitt believes medical negligence played a part in his tragic death. Guitarist Rick died on Christmas Eve aged 68 after suffering a severe infection while in a Spanish hospital, which he had visited due to complications with a shoulder injury. Lyndsay has spoken out about the cause of his death and how he was possibly misdiagnosed shortly before the end of his life. She thought the lion of a man would always pull through after surviving all sorts of health scares, and is still struggling to come to terms with his death. Speaking of her devastation after losing the status quo star, Lyndsay told Lorraine, "It's left a huge hole in my life and the children's life and all the fans' world as well. He really was such a personality. I have moments, a lot of moments, when I'm really struggling. I really miss him. I sort of wake up at night and think this hasn't really happened. It's like a nightmare, it's not real." Lyndsay has told how she experiences moments of weakness every day since his sudden death and still waits for him to walk back into the house. Of learning of his death, Lyndsay said, "It was just unbelievable, and such a futile way to die really. He was a lion, a monster of a man really, survived all sorts of health scares. I think we all felt that he'd always come through. Obviously this was just one too many things. I feel at the end he was misdiagnosed. I think there was a bit of medical negligence. I sometimes beat myself up. I think everybody does when they've lost somebody. You say, what if I'd done this? Or we should have done this earlier or whatever. Then you start to take on the guilt yourself and say, why didn't I take him here and do that? To die as a victim of a form of sepsis feels very cruel." But grieving Lyndsay Parfitt says she is determined to stay strong for the sake of their 9-year-old twins Tommy and Lily, who are hitting many milestones without their father. She thanked the fans for their continued support of the rocker, who survived 4 heart attacks, the most recent performing with status quo last summer. Lyndsay continued, "He always said it would take more than death to kill me. That was his catchphrase. On the Quo website now it's put, 'Not a bad life really,' which is another comment he used to make." In a previous interview, speaking about the twins' first birthday without their father, Lyndsay said, "It's a horrendous hurdle for us all. Lily and Tommy came in to me first thing this morning with their birthday cards. Lily was subdued. She picked up a card and used her little finger to rip it open across the top of the envelope. She said, 'This is how Daddy opened his cards. If Daddy was here, he would be giving me a card, too.'" Lily's remarks left Lyndsay absolutely floored. She added, "It was very emotional. I have moments of weakness every single day, but I try to be tough. I know nothing I do or say can replace the loss of the father they idolized." Lyndsay, 58, who wed Rick in 2006, said she hoped her children would be inspired by his philosophy to live life to the full. "When I look at the twins, I see the richness and happiness they brought to Rick's life and my life, and that gives me comfort," she told Hello magazine. Parfitt was previously wed to Marietta Boecker, with whom he had a son, Rick Jr., and Patty Beaton, with whom he had son Harry. At the time of his death, he and Lyndsay were separated. Parfitt had been on holiday in Marbella when the infection in his shoulder injury emerged, leading to sepsis. Poignantly, just weeks earlier he had told Classic Rock magazine, "It'll take more than death to kill me." The hard-living star had survived 4 heart attacks, the most recent performing with status quo last summer. That led to him announcing that he would no longer tour with the band, which has racked up over 60 chart hits in the UK, more than any other rock band.